You know, the Colonel Award was a good idea from the start because it really does give the athletic program a chance to honor people who have had an impact in the athletic program who are not directly involved. And clearly Stephanie and Mike Fabridius, from the first day they arrived, began to imagine how they could have an impact and have an influence for good in the life of the student athletes. And both of them have simply been remarkable in that regard. And I'm very, very proud to see them be honored in this way. You know, the whole idea of there being a liaison program with faculty and staff and student athletes on these different teams is really one that Stephanie grabbed a hold of as a concept and really developed it so that it would have a kind of comprehensive impact on all the different men's and women's teams. It has worked wonderfully well from the start, which is a compliment to our coaches. It's also a high compliment to our faculty and staff members who want to do this sort of thing. And it's a high compliment to Stephanie because she was the one who kind of filled out the idea and turned it into reality, and we're the better for it.
Well, I think the entire program is very important, but for our athletes to actually get to relate to her and her role and see what she's done throughout her career and really get to know her as the person has been tremendous for them as young women.
I think that the two of them actually epitomize the whole center family thing. They really do. When you're bringing people into your house, and then you're also invested in them, that you come to all the games and you're watching them and you're cheering for them, and then they'll come through, like Mike will come through the office and how's recruiting going? You know, how the girls played really well the other night, or Stephanie will say the same thing as we see them on campus. So they're really invested in the kids, which is outstanding.
Every Christmas they invite us to their house and we have like a big meal that they provide, which is really nice because as basketball players we're always away from home during most of the Christmas time, and so when we get to eat at their house it kind of is just a nice break from school and from getting off campus.
And they have just set a great model for how people involved in the academic program, and even in Stephanie's case, the leadership of the academic program, can take an active interest in and be so supportive of what our student athletes do. I remind you, with 42% of our women and 42% of our men playing on teams, you know, the fact that the academic officer and his or her spouse is involved makes a lot of sense, and they have set the standard by which others will probably be judged.
Stephanie, as dean, she has a tremendous workload on her plate, and she always takes time to help us and do what we need. And over the years, we've started calling her number one, so she's the number one liaison in the program. And somehow Mike wanted a number, and he thought he was number one. And so we never know how to rank Mike. We always ask Stephanie what his ranking is that week. So sometimes he's 1.5, sometimes he's 5. We're just not real sure. It depends on how good he's been at home.
The Fabridii, as we call them, Dr. Fabridius has been great for the econ majors. I'm one, and I've really appreciated his guidance over the years and just really setting all the econ majors on the right path. And then the other one, number one, as we call her, she has been a great supporter. She's our cheerleader. She's always there at all the games, home games, and it's just been really nice to have them around. It's kind of like our little family.
I've had any number of student athletes who made it clear to me that they had gotten to know Stephanie Fabridius, Mike Fabridius, in a very personal, caring, loving way, and they've really benefited from that friendship, from that relationship, from that support, which again just speaks to the value of the program and the quality of people who volunteered to be liaison.
I can't think of a better liaison that we could have had. Dr. Fabridius, he comes and sees us off on every van trip, and when times get hard on the road, as we all know that they do with academics, he's always there to text and ask what the best advice is, and I can't imagine my 4 years playing golf without that. He stepped up when things were a little difficult and we didn't always have someone there to help us with practice or take us to tournaments, and he was always there for us during that time. He was a constant source of support, and it was tough. It was a tough transition. Going from one coach to another, and he's been really helpful through all of that.
Calls and texts us to make sure we're doing okay, and if we need anything, he's always there.
He generally just wants to know how you're doing, if he can help you in any way. He's the first person to reach out if he hears that you need something and need any help at all.
Honestly, they're just the people that are always there, and you can always look up in the stands and you know that whatever happens during the game, they're always going to shake your hand and tell you a good game. And Dr. Fabrides is always going to, give you a little bit of advice, which is helpful most of the time.
I don't know how you replace them. They're a partnership. Even though Mike was not our basketball liaison, he's taken over that role too for us. I think that we'll have to do a lot of texting and FaceTime, and they better start keeping up with us on social media, which Coach is in charge of, so you need to pick that up a little bit. And, no, just kidding. But I don't even really want to think about it because they're that key to our family. They're a key part of our basketball family.
I think the main issue is going to be how are we going to feed the kids at Christmas time when they're not. That's a lot of groceries, man, and so they've been responsible for that. The kids are really fired up about it, so I guess you guys are going to have to figure it out.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fabrides, for all your support and help. I can't imagine having these 4 years without you, and in all the years to come, I'm always going to remember to hit them long and straight, except for on the dog legs.
Stephanie and Mike, congratulations on the award for this evening, and thank you so much for all that you've done for Center Athletics, for us in the coaching office, and for our kids. You're going to enjoy your sabbatical, we really know that. And Mike, I think you're at 1.1 or 1.2 today, so enjoy it, brother.
Dr. Fabrides, thank you so much for everything. I will never forget the constant support that you've given to me and to my teammates, and it's meant the world to us. So we love you, and we can't wait to see you in the future.
Dr. Fabrides, thank you so much for everything you've done for me and the golf team. We wouldn't be here without you. You've been our one constant through the 4 years, and as seniors, we're going to miss you terribly.
As a junior, Dean Fabrides, Dr. Fabrides, I just want to thank you for being a part of our basketball family. We really appreciate having you at every event, and you mean a lot to us.
Stephanie and Mike, thank you so much for all you've done for our women's basketball program over the last, I don't know how many years. And I just want to congratulate you on winning the Colonel Award and all the contributions you've made to our Center Athletic Department. Very deserving, and thank you for all you do.
Mike and Stephanie, I want to take this opportunity in my behalf and Susie's behalf to thank you for being such good spectators alongside us. We've enjoyed having you there. We count on having you there again. But it's been a pleasure to root for our teams and enjoy the outstanding play of our student athletes, these men and women who represent Center College on the field and on the court and in the playing surfaces. And it's been great to have you alongside as our friends.